Welcome to your August 2022 real estate market update for the Phoenix metro area. I'm Beth Riebenstorf with the Reby Homes team. Well, let's start with our local market before we take a look at what's happening nationally. And locally, it is good news for buyers. The number of sales that had seller paid closing costs, well, it's increased to 9% of all MLS sales. Over the past 15 months, the average has been just 3 to 4.5% of all MLS sales. Prior to 2020, 25 to 28% of all closed sales had seller paid closing cost assistance. So moving from 3 or 4% up to 9% is a good step. That increase is expected to continue and to continue to rise as investors, well, they've pulled back on their acquisitions, which means many sellers now must cater to normal buyers once again. Unlike most of 2021 and the first part of 2022, buyers now have time to really consider and decide on a property. Last May, 50% of all homes that went under contract were on the market for only 7 days or less. This month, homes are on the market a median of 21 days before a contract is accepted, giving buyers more breathing room for a second showing and less pressure to make a decision on the spot. And you can see the trend for the total number of days on market. The end of 2020 was about 41 days. 2021 was well below 30 days, and the trend for 2022 looks similar to 2021. But with inventory increases, that trend is expected to increase, meaning the average days on market will continue to tick upward. And more evidence of a growing buyer's advantage is the percentage of properties closing over list price. Well, that's declined from 58% in April to 24% in August to date. The median amount over list has also declined from $20,000 down to $7,000. As the current balanced market continues and as sellers adjust to the slowdown in increased prices, expect to see this measure drop to just about 10 to 15%. For sellers, well, this last week in July saw 4,172 price reductions on greater Phoenix area listings. That's 26% of the active supply for that week. The median price reduction, well, it was $15,000, and 78% of price reductions were over $5,000. On the price side, the peak for 2022 so far was May. Since then, the median sales price has declined 6.25% from $480,000 to $450,000. Again, that's the median price. To analyze price response by sales price range, here's a look at the sales price per square foot. In May, the peak sales price per square foot overall was $305.99. August to date is running at $289.89. Overall, this is a similar result to the change in median sales price, but there are differences in the price ranges. The $300,000 to $500,000 price range dropped 1.5%. The $500,000 to $800,000 dropped 3.5%. The $800,000 to $1 million dropped 1.7%. And the biggest change is in the $1 million to $1.5 million range with a 9.7% drop. Here's the year over year look from August 9, 2021 to August 9, 2022. Active listings for sale up 155.7% from last year. That's 18,321. Listings under contract 8,319, which is down 29.2% from last year. The monthly median sales price $450,000, which is up 11.4% from last year, and closed monthly sales $5,975, which is down 33.1% from last year's. The days supply of inventory is 65 compared to 23 days in August of 2021. Moving to the national view, everyone will probably agree that this year is defined by rising mortgage rates. Here's a look at Freddie Mac 30-year fixed rate from January through to the latest data. We see over time that mortgage rates ticked up week after week after week and then started to potentially peak right around mid-June to end of June. Since then, we've seen a lot of volatility, and current rates are a little bit lower than a month ago. The big question everyone wants to know is where are mortgage rates projected to go? Here's a look at the mortgage rate projections just released in July from Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, MBA, and NAR. The average for all four by quarter is on the far right, and projections are that rates will hang out where we are right now with Q4 projected around 5.3, and then moving below the 5% mark in the third quarter of 2023. And the other big topic is recession. And let's step over the debate about whether or not we're in a recession right now and move to a look at what has occurred historically for home values and mortgage rates. In 4 of the last 6 recessions, home prices appreciated in value. We all remember 2008 when home values lost nearly 20% of the value. And we've covered previously in other videos the fundamental differences in detail about why things are very different now than they were back then. As for mortgage rates, this graph is a combination of data from Freddie Mac and mortgage specialists, and it shows how from the peak of the recessions to the trough each year, those yellow boxes, it shows how mortgage rates have fallen in recessionary times. Now, this doesn't indicate exactly what will happen every single time. It just shows what has happened historically, which is mortgage rates have fallen in times of recession. The other question on people's minds is what does this mean for home sales? Since we've seen a slowing in the pace of sales. So here's a look at the total home sales forecast from Freddie, Fannie, and MBA. The blue bars are the projections back in January of 2022 before the interest rates rose and the market slowed. The green bars, well, those are the reforecast, the latest projections from July of 2022. There were about 7 million homes sold last year, 2021, and it looks like the projections are between 5.8 and 6.4 million homes for this year, 2022. The last couple of years, it's been great news for home sellers, and now it's swinging back to the favor of buyers. 3 things happening right now that are creating a great scenario for buyers. One, in April, the average home sold had 5.5 offers, and that's ticked down to 4.2 in May and 3.4 in June. That's a trend that's expected to continue going down. Number 2, fewer homes selling above asking price, down from 61% to 51%, and this is nationally. The Phoenix metro area, well, it's gone down from 58 to 24%. And number 3, the number of available homes is increasing as the pace of homes that sell slows down, meaning more homes are coming to the market and there's more time for buyers to consider their options. And that is the Greater Phoenix Area Real Estate Market Update for August of 2022. We're the Rebe Homes team, where REBE stands for Real Estate Beyond Expectations.